What if your gentle spirit never came here to be agreeable, but to awaken others by standing fiercely true to itself? There's a silent grief that lives in so many spiritual women. They carry it like a hidden bruise under soft words and open smiles. They say yes, and inside, something flinches. They give more, and inside, something grows emptier. How many times have you swallowed your no because you were afraid someone would walk away if they heard it? How many times did your mouth whisper yes while your body whispered please, enough? This invisible pattern doesn't announce itself with drama. It wraps itself in beautiful disguises: compassion, kindness, service, being a good woman, a devoted partner, the one who never disturbs the peace. But deep underneath that virtue lives something much older and colder: fear. Fear of rejection so old it hides in your bones. Fear of abandonment so ancient it hums through your nervous system like static. Fear that if you speak clearly, if you draw the line, you will lose the love you've worked so hard to keep. It starts so young. A girl notices when she smiles, she is praised. When she agrees, she is loved. When she swallows her protests, she is accepted. A tiny soul learns to edit herself to match someone else's comfort. Again and again, she rehearses this role. Be agreeable, don't disturb, don't ask too much, don't take up too much space. She learns to read everyone else's moods before she learns to read her own. She becomes fluent in other people's desires and deaf to her own heart. But your soul was never born to be agreeable. Your soul came here to awaken, to remember itself through the tension of boundaries. Every time you betray your inner no for an outer yes, a small fracture appears inside you, a hairline crack that over time splits you away from your own sacred center. Athena teaches us this paradox. When you say yes to avoid losing them, you're already losing yourself. And when you dare to say no, not from anger, but from truth, you begin to gather those lost pieces back into your chest. So pause now. Let your breath drop deeper into your belly. Place your hand over your heart. Feel it remembering something you've tried to forget. The countless moments you said yes to keep the peace, to avoid the fight, to protect them while you abandoned you. Who were you protecting? Who were you trying to save while losing yourself? What was the price of being so good, so giving, so available? What did your body do with every soft, trembling no you silenced? Real spirituality does not ask you to vanish. It does not praise you for dissolving your edges to merge with everyone else's needs. Mature spirituality says, your soul did not come to please. It came to awaken. And sometimes the softest awakening is a simple word: enough. Not shouted, not forced. A quiet enough that ripples out from your bones like a blessing. This is not anger. This is not punishment. This is remembrance. Athena's whisper. A boundary is not a wall you build against the world. It is the sacred circle where you remember who you are. Close your eyes. Breathe in the silence. Call back a memory where you betrayed your no. Feel how your chest tightens just remembering it. See the version of you who said yes when your spirit was begging you to stay true. Now whisper inside, may I be faithful to the quiet voice within me. May I stand inside the circle Athena drew for me, where my yes is true and my no is holy. Sometimes the reason you can't say no has nothing to do with logic, nothing to do with lack of courage or spiritual maturity. It has everything to do with something buried far deeper than your conscious mind. Your primal code for belonging. Inside every woman's body lives an ancient truth. For thousands of years, Belonging to the tribe meant survival. To be cast out meant danger. To be alone meant death. Your nervous system still carries this memory, even if your mind knows better. The primal alarm. Each time you try to draw a line, a silent alarm goes off inside your chest. Your body whispers, if you say no, you might be left behind. Your heart pounds, your throat tightens, your belly twists. All signs that your limbic system, your emotional brain, is on full alert. It's not just fear, it's biology echoing through centuries. When you think about stepping back from someone who drains you, your ancient brain screams, don't do it, stay, smile, agree, survive. The sabotage of clarity. The cruel trick is this. The moment you need your clearest mind, your deepest wisdom, that's when your primal alarm blocks it. When your emotional brain floods you with old survival fear, the prefrontal cortex, your seat of clarity, reasoning, values, flickers out. So instead of truth, you reach for excuses. She's just going through a hard time. Nobody's perfect. Maybe it's not that bad. You forgive the manipulation, justify the emotional drain, because your body is convinced that setting a boundary equals isolation. It's not that you don't know how to say no, it's that your body still believes it's dangerous to be true. So, what if saying no was not a rejection, but an invitation back to the tribe inside you? A tribe of your own sacred parts, your raw truths, your quiet honesty, your soul? Perhaps your hardest no is not the end of a relationship, but the beginning of a new kind of belonging. A belonging that does not ask you to shrink, to perform, to vanish. A belonging that says, come home, stay whole, be faithful to yourself first. Athena teaches us, when you say yes to others at the cost of your truth, you exile yourself. When you say no with love, you gather your scattered parts back into your chest. So pause now. Sit in silence for 3 breaths. Bring to mind a moment when you longed to set a boundary, but froze. Remember the swirl in your belly, the tightening in your throat, the ache in your chest. Gently name what you feel: fear, tension, grief. Whisper to it, this is me trying to survive abandonment. Then ask yourself with fierce softness, do I still want to live by betraying myself to belong?
Ritual of inner gathering. Place your hands on your ribs. Feel your own warmth. Whisper, I belong here first, inside this breath, this truth, this body. Feel your tribe gathering, the versions of you that beg to be protected. You are not alone. You are your own sacred circle. Here's what your primal alarm doesn't know. When you abandon yourself to stay close to someone else, you're already alone. When you stand inside your true no, you are never abandoned, you are reclaimed. Athena's reminder. Napoleon Hill once said, strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. Your effort now is not to fight others, but to stand lovingly beside your truth, even when your body trembles. Most women mistake a boundary for a goodbye. We think it's a cold door slammed shut. We imagine it's a line drawn in anger, an exile, a rejection. How many times have you stayed even when your soul whispered leave? How many times did you keep holding hands with someone who drained you because you were terrified of seeming cold, distant, selfish? This is the wound that keeps so many open when they should close, keeps so many giving when they should rest, keeps so many available when they should be sacredly unreachable. A true boundary does not push people away. It aligns what is misaligned. It doesn't say, you're unworthy. It says, I refuse to abandon myself just to keep you close. This shifts everything. Suddenly, your no is not a dagger. It is a gate, guiding you back to your center. It is not separation from the other, but reunion with yourself. Too often, the spiritual world glorifies endless availability. Be open, be kind, be forgiving. Let everyone in, never close the door. But your soul is not an empty field. It is a temple with sacred walls, a garden with living borders, a sanctuary with thresholds that protect your peace. When you say no, you are not cruel. You are faithful. Faithful to your core. Faithful to your peace. Faithful to the blueprint of your own vibration. Think of a tree in autumn. It does not cling to dead leaves out of politeness. It does not apologize for letting go of what has finished its cycle. The tree drops what no longer feeds it, so it can gather its sap, rest, and bloom again when the time is right. Your no is like that gentle letting go, not harsh, not dramatic, just an act of trust that what falls was meant to fall, and what stays was meant to stay. A boundary does not sever you from the other, it simply stops you from crossing it alone over and over, while the other never meets you halfway. Before you cut ties or step back, ask your heart, is this boundary punishment or protection? If it is punishment, pause. You may be speaking from your wound. If it is protection, proceed. You are speaking from your wisdom. Athena teaches, a woman who whispers no from her soul holds a shield forged in discernment, not rage. Ritual of realignment. Place your feet on the ground. Feel the weight of your body supported by the earth. Bring to mind the boundary you're afraid to set. Visualize it not as a wall, but as a circle of light wrapping gently around you. In that circle, see your name written, your truth breathing, your peace blooming. Whisper softly, this limit is not my weapon. This limit is my return. Athena's echo. The soul doesn't need to shout. It just needs you not to betray it. What if you could trust that your no does not end things, it transforms them? What if you could believe that whoever truly belongs will stay, not because you bend, but because you stand? The archetype of the shield. In the ancient stories, Athena is not just a goddess of wisdom, she is the quiet strategist, the guardian of clear sight, the one who lifts her shield not to attack, but to discern. While other gods swing swords in blind rage, Athena watches, she listens. She moves only when her deeper vision says, this is worth my breath, my energy, my stand. Her shield, the Aegis, is not a weapon of destruction, it is a circle of sacred protection, a living symbol of the truth that sometimes your greatest act of love is a firm no. The feminine shield. When a woman says no from her soul, Athena stands beside her, not to fight the other, but to guard her from herself, from the temptation to give too much, to explain endlessly, to soften her edges until she disappears. This shield does not protect you from people. It protects you from the ancient reflex to betray their clarity for crumbs of approval. Too often we think softness means surrendering our borders. We fear that firmness means we lose our grace. But Athena teaches us, the strongest shield is forged in tenderness, not bitterness. The clearest no can carry more compassion than the most hesitant yes. To say no when your soul trembles is to honor the temple inside you, a temple that cannot be open to everyone at every hour, a temple that needs thresholds, doors, altars that say this far, no further. The inner temple. Visualize this temple now. See its entrance, wide, warm, but not unguarded. See Athena standing at that doorway, shield in hand, eyes steady as a river stone. She does not raise her spear. She does not shout. She simply holds the shield, a silent command that your truth is sacred ground. When someone tries to step past what drains you, Athena whispers in your chest, "Remember, protect the flame, guard the altar, keep the vow." Think of a compass. It spins wildly when disturbed, but once it settles, it points north, unwavering, clear. Your boundaries are your north. Your no is the gentle force that keeps your soul from spinning in the winds of other people's chaos. The silent battle. Athena never fights for ego. She does not battle to punish. She does not strike to humiliate. She positions herself for one reason alone: vision. She knows the difference between a war of pride and a stand for sacred ground. When you say no with this energy, you do not shut doors forever. You open the right ones inside you. You stay aligned with what you came here to embody: clarity, presence, inner sovereignty. The shield ritual. Before you speak a boundary, breathe. Visualize Athena standing with you. Feel her shield, not made of steel, but woven from threads of light and ancient wisdom. Let it hover between you and the other, not to block love, but to filter what enters your sacred circle.
From my truth, this is my no. No guilt, no justifying, no shrinking. A quiet, clean line that honors both souls. Athena's echo. Your soul does not need to shout. It needs you to remember its truth. The gift of the shield. Every time you lift your shield, you choose yourself without wounding the other. You stand rooted, unarmored by rage, uncloaked in guilt. You remember what Napoleon Hill taught. Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. If you don't control what you think, you can't control what you do. Athena's shield is your discipline, not against the world, but against the parts of you that forget your worth. The shift, not distance, but direction. Most people see a boundary as distance, a wall, a break, a cold line that divides. But what if every no you speak is not pushing someone away, but guiding you back to your true north? What if the distance is only an illusion, and the real journey is not outward, but inward? The sacred return. Every time you abandon your truth to stay connected, you step away from your center. Every yes you give out of fear carves a tiny path away from your own temple. Every swallowed boundary unroots you from the ground of who you really are. But every no, clean, quiet, loving, is not distance. It is direction. It is the moment your compass finds home again. The center, your vibrational altar. Your center is not an idea. It is not just a concept of self-care. It is a living place inside you, a vibrational altar that radiates your true essence. Here, you don't beg for connection. You don't hustle for belonging. You emanate it simply by staying faithful to your inner pulse. And yet, so often we leave this altar behind, chasing approval, fearing discomfort, buying peace with pieces of ourselves. We abandon what's sacred just to keep what's familiar. So breathe now. Feel in your body. Where did you last betray your center for a temporary comfort? Where did you trade truth for acceptance? Where did you soften your no and silence your soul? The cost is never just the moment. It's the echo, the quiet, constant forgetting of who you are. The ritual of return. Close your eyes. Picture a recent moment when you longed to draw a line but didn't. See the scene. Feel the tightness in your chest, the swirl in your belly. Name it softly. Fear, tension, the ancient alarm. Now ask, like a vow, does this boundary push me away from someone or pull me back to myself? If the answer is back to myself, then know this limit is sacred. It does not need explanation. It needs reverence. The vibrational technique. Rest your hand on your heart. Inhale deeply. Feel your ribs expand. Whisper, I belong here first. See your center like a temple flickering with warm light. Feel your soul gathering all the parts you left behind when you said yes out of fear. They come back, the child who smiled to be liked, the woman who swallowed truth to be kept, the you that learned to bend to survive. They come back and stand with you now, whole, rooted, soft, and unmovable. Many people think when you draw a line, you lose them, but often they were never fully there because you were never fully here. Every boundary ends not a relationship, but an illusion. And in that ending, you begin. Athena's seed. May your limit never be a punishment, but a promise to never leave yourself again. Athena does not guard you to keep the world out. She stands beside you so you can remember. Your temple is not open 24 hours a day. Your center is not a marketplace. Your truth is not up for bargain. Ask yourself tonight, what boundary do I need to honor? Not to push the world away, but to sit closer to my own flame. And when you find it, breathe it into your bones. No armor, no guilt, only return. At the end of all these words, only one truth remains. You are not here to be agreeable. You are not here to bend until you break. You are not here to keep the peace at the cost of your own wholeness. You came to remember, to gather your edges, to carry a yes that is full and a no that is clean, both equally holy. Long after you are gone, people will not remember how many times you said yes. They will remember the warmth in your eyes when you stayed true. They will remember how your presence felt like a temple, safe because it had walls. They will remember that your love did not come from your exhaustion, but from your alignment. So today, I ask you to stand before your own life, like Athena at her gate. Shield in hand, heart uncovered, truth unwavering. Ask yourself, what do I protect when I say no? Who do I betray when I say yes too easily? What would change if my no became a prayer, not a prison? Every time you say no with love, you say yes to your soul. Every time you draw a line, you draw yourself back into your own sacred center. This is the paradox the world forgets. Boundaries do not exile you from others. They rescue you from abandoning yourself. Close your eyes. Feel Athena beside you, calm, steady, unwavering. Place your palm over your heart. Inhale softly for 4 counts. Hold for 3 seconds. exhale for 5, and whisper the word, clarity. Again and again. Feel the shield around you, not metal, but light. Not harsh, but alive. Not distance, but direction. Wisdom does not shout. It whispers when you finally grow quiet enough to listen. Tell me below, what truth has your soul been whispering while your mouth kept saying yes? What boundary will you bless today, not to push the world away, but to pull yourself home? May your no be soft and sacred. May your yes be honest and whole. May Athena's shield remind you again and again, you are not here to be liked. You are here to be true. Napoleon Hill once said, self-discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. And your boundary, your quiet, clear no, is that bridge back to you.